it going, guys? And welcome back to the Foundry Reviews. Today, Ken, Tony, John, and I are going to be reviewing a new episode of the Book of Boba Fett, Episode 5,
my
or as I like to
God.
call it, Mandalorian, Season 3. How you guys doing?
Here's
Hey,
Doing
episode one. Yeah.
fantastic. What's up, dude?
I'm happy as
I'm,
fuck.
I'm pretty good. I sure love this episode of Book of Boba Fett. You know.
It was a good episode. I'd literally call it the best episode of the season so far, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
it
can
is.
support that, yeah.
Yeah.
And-
I think the Book of Boba Fett is really climbing now. You know, now that we've gotten so far in
Now that
this
he's not in
story
his own show.
of
yeah.
Boba Fett. You know.
There was a distinct lack of Boba Fett in this. I don't think he was in this episode at all.
His name was said once.
Yeah, I don't think he was actually pictured in this episode, though, right?
No, I don't think so at all. I don't.
No.
Yeah,
wasn't.
zero screen time. But
Yep.
Fennec Shan
Oof.
got some,
Fuck it.
which is funny.
You don't remember the scene where Mando laid down and pulled out that full spread, fold out Playboy of Boba Fett and started beating it off?
Wow. Holy
don't-
shit.
Damn, I must have
Damn.
mentally blocked that out.
I'm sorry, man, I
Uh,
skipped the intro. Right.
Yeah. We skipped the
Those were
intro.
the-
Well,
that was the
it's
credits.
until this
It was
episode.
it was the
so-
concept art in the end.
Yeah,
John Favreau really wasn't feeling it. He was like, "No, take that out."
Dude,
Yeah. This
it really was. It
uh,
really was a Mandalorian episode, though, because it started off even with like a combination of the two themes. I think, like
Yes.
the theme for this was a combination of the usual Book of Boba theme and the Mandalorian theme, which I
It was
thought
pretty
was really
refreshing.
funny. It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah, and then even the episode title, Return of the Mandalorian. No, Takeover of the Mandalorian. That's
Yeah.
what this was.
Again, I have
what it
no
was.
issues with this. I'm really glad there was finally some decent fucking television on this show.
Ah, dude, yeah,
Did
it was good.
I felt like when I was watching this first like 20 minutes, I was like, man, this sure as fuck feels like Star Wars. Like there's no like this
Yes,
this is Star
yes.
Wars. Like there's
It
no
felt
question
Star
about it.
Warsy.
You're goddamn right.
Although
Yeah.
I guess the beginning, just with them, I've never seen like meat packing
I know,
in
right?
Star
Like
Wars,
you don't
so
think
that
about
threw me
it.
a little. I was
Skulls,
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind
I
of
mean, it
what
makes
animal is that from?
They take-
panther.
Jesus Christ. Like a bantha. I did like seeing that. Going through the shady little slaughterhouse. Did you
made
see what
sense.
that guy was doing? He was doing some crime shit, man. Boba Fett should have seen it. He was doing some crime shit. As a crime lord, he should take
He was
some
there
fucking
counting
notes.
credit.
I saw a glory hole in that butchery.
He was
Jesus
are you
Christ.
serious?
Are you
No.
What kind of
serious?
alien you think's on the other side of that?
What kind of alien do you want on the other side of that?
I want an aqualish.
Send a photo of what that is real quick.
It's the vagina mouth ones, the one that's like.
Oh,
"He
it's
doesn't
kind of
like
hairy.
you."
It's kind of hairy.
Yeah. I want one of
Okay.
them.
Yep.
That'd be interesting.
Like, how does that work?
I'm trying to think about it. Like, what would I want to on the other side to be? Hang on. Table this review for a second. What Star Wars
That'd be
alien?
nice too. They have the tightest mouth. It's like the balloon mouths. You
What
know?
about one that salivates a lot as well? Like that'd be pretty good.
Oh. I don't know. What's
Anyways,
the salivating
I gotta
one?
go with
I'd
the
fuck a
Wookiee.
Wookiee.
I think they might rip it off as they tend to
Black Cock
rip
Santa.
Exactly.
limbs
Yeah.
off.
They have a,
I'm
they have
gonna
a habit of pulling off appendages, man.
I'm gonna think about this. You guys continue. Hang on.
Yeah, okay. So we're in the meatpacking area, which I thought actually kind of reminded me more of something like it reminded me more of something from like what's that show I've been watching that's Marvel? Son of a bit. Daredevil.
Oh,
Daredevil.
It reminded me
Daredevil.
something more like Daredevil, and I thought that was kind of interesting because it felt a little bit more down to earth,
Grittier?
so to speak. Yeah, grittier. Even for Star Wars. So there's like an interesting mix of like Star Wars sci-fi, but also like crime lord, like down to earth, like Daredevil type stuff, which I thought
Yeah.
was really cool.
I was happy they kind of paid tribute to a lot of former films. Oh God. But
Is this Rule
It was a
34?
throwback to the first episode of The Mandalorian.
Yes.
And he originally,
said that.
had the I can bring you in warm, I can bring you in cold. Even the way he
Yeah.
walks in, I was like,
He said that to the
Love
blue
this.
dude.
Yeah. Right at the
Exactly,
yeah. I
He's
thought
back.
that was really nice.
I liked the parallel of he's back to being ruthless now that Grogu's gone.
exactly.
Yeah, he really was, and
Yeah.
it was just a great energy like to the whole scene and everything. So
So
I
of
was-
course he brings him in cold.
Well, not by choice. Yeah, there was a
Oh,
really
he's
cool.
warmed up after he's.
Yeah, there was a really cool fight there with Mandalorian. He still has Darksaber from the second season, the end of the second season.
Yep. I
That
knew
was
he was
just
gonna
so
hold that shit.
badass. It was
Yeah,
so
that
cool
was
to
that
see him
was
wield it.
so cool. I just like every interaction, like every time he hit something, like you could see it cauterizing, you could see the smoke hitting
Yeah.
the flesh.
Yeah.
Like it was really fucking
heavy.
detailed.
Especially his own leg.
It's not so much heavy. We find out later on in the episode. I'm not going to get there quite yet, but I do love the fact that even though he has it, he's so uncoordinated with it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that makes
It's an
sense because
unfamiliar weapon. Yes.
Jedi take years to master it, and he's just like he
Bingo.
picked it up. Like he's not used to that fighting style or how
What
to
he say? He
use it.
said it
To
gets
mention
heavier with every
that-
swing.
Not to mention, yes, his lightsaber is a bit different than your ordinary lightsaber with its kyber crystals. His has a
Sli-
very interesting backstory, and this
Is it-
episode really does a great job of
Is it
exploring
classified as a lightsaber?
Technically,
I was
yes.
just curious.
I'm pretty
okay.
sure it
It
is. Yeah.
is. It's there's not too much lore on it, but this episode really dove deeper into it. We find out that the hilt is made out of Beskar, which makes this thing pretty much freaking unbreakable.
Yeah, it's indestructible.
It's
Yeah.
essentially he even talks about it. He's like, this is a quality of Beskar that looks like unfamiliar to me.
Hold on.
And I
What
really
about
do appreciate
Max?
that.
What if Max was on the other side of that hole?
My dog?
No.
What?
Max Rebo.
Oh, It's
Oh.
like, bro, this feels a little too close to home, man. What-
Wow.
I thought
Oh.
you were talking about his dog too. I'm like, that's fucked.
What about a Gungan? Ooh, a Gungan sucking your dick?
Oh
Misas-
my, he's back on this. Oh, yeah,
I haven't
got
left, man. I'm still thinking about it.
you. Come on, how can you think about that when we're talking about the dark saber
Come
and
on,
the
man, we're
Mandalorian?
talking about a good episode. And you talking
You think about
gore,
sticking
gore,
his
meat
saber
packing
through a
industry.
hole.
I can't blame you. But
Dude, yeah, it was.
Oh,
the
what
fight
about
was so good.
Watto, dude? Watto.
Toydarians, huh?
Jedi mind
Here's-
tricks that don't work on him?
Yeah, you hear his
I'm
wings
not.
flapping as
I'm
he's
not
talking.
swallowing this dick. I'm not swallowing your
I'm gonna
cum.
be honest, dude.
No,
I just want the
cummies
I want the
will
little
refine.
gremlin from fucking episode 6. You know, the orange little gremlin that's in Jabba's palace. Pick that
What-
motherfucker
With the
up, wear him
cackle,
like a
the little
condom.
cackle.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What's his name?
What about the Jawas? We heard about something
yeah. Those
relationships with
furry little
Jawas in this.
bastards? Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah, that's like sticking your dick into the abyss, the unknown. That's an
You
unknown.
don't know what's in there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a known unknown, sir.
I'd rather go in the Sarlacc than that.
Actually, you ain't. What do you have, Sarlacc pits on the other side?
You gotta have Sarlacc pick on the other side.
I mean, do you think the Sarlacc came down? All right.
You know, I'm thinking this is just a side note since we're doing that. Imagine if he had a Sarlacc pit in Boba Fett's dungeon instead of a Rancor.
that'd be fucking funny.
Oh wow,
He
That-
just got
that would be
revenge and he's like,
insane.
"You're gonna live down here now, you bitch."
Just relocate her.
Yeah, enjoy being digested for hundreds of years.
good.
But yeah,
And
that was a really cool fight with the Darksaber. Like, it's just a fucking cool weapon. You know, we've never seen it like really used live action, but he fucking took care of those guys. And it's kind of dumb of him to go into this fight and like him to be extremely outnumbered and use a weapon that he's unfamiliar with and he kind of sucks with.
Yes.
Yeah, but he managed. I mean, they weren't great fighters, but he slashed them up like hardcore.
I'm guessing this was his first time actually using it because otherwise he probably would have realized, like, man, shit, I can't really swing this thing around so easily, you know?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of dumb of him.
Not to mention, one of those dog dudes, like, literally bit his hand, and I was like, the fuck is this?
What are they, Clutonians, right?
I can't remember whether they're the Clatunians or they're a different species.
Dog's
to double check.
Dog's There's a fucking they're I think they are because I was just looking through 50 alien races that could suck your dick in Star Wars and I saw it on there. Little article. Thanks, BuzzFeed.
You're right. It is the Clatunian. Yes.
Sweet.
Jeez.
We
We also get a little a scene of him like negotiating with the rest. So he kills like all the main people, and then he's like walking out. Is like, hey, I'll you guys can have whatever's in there if you just let me leave. Like whatever you think is you're worthy of, whatever, and I'll get out of here. I just killed your boss.
He's like, y'all like Imperial credits or Republic credits? Yeah, there they are. And then they're like, okay.
And they were like, yeah,
Thank
okay.
you,
and
Mr.
let him leave.
Mandalorian.
and he had to
You'd
stumble
really
out.
cash
Not
money
stumble,
if you
but
left me alone. Yep.
he was limping on his way out because of his wound, which was actually quite bad. He really
Yeah,
He
he
fucking
did a
burned
number,
sliced himself.
Yeah.
dude. And then we see this crazy we see Halo, dude. We see
It's Elysium.
Oh yeah, like it
Dude,
straight up
it's
was. It
Halo.
was like it looked like a giant city. It was night sky,
Yeah.
like it was in space, but it looked real
Yeah, it was
fucking
like a
Star Wars,
manufactured,
dude.
like,
episode,
dial.
I think, man.
Yeah, it looked like just like a space station or something like that. Like it was cool as fuck, dude.
I thought it was gonna be like Kuwait, like the shipyard where they make all the ships, because that also is like a giant disc around a
the
planet, I
Imperial
think.
shipyard?
Yeah.
But I was like, but then they showed it more, and I was like, no, this wouldn't be it. This is like a city on a thing like that. So I was
Yeah.
like, nah, that
It
can't
was
be it.
cool as fuck.
It was.
Yeah.
It was definitely straight up out of Halo, but I mean, it's really cool. I thought they did it really well,
I agree. It was pretty lit. Yeah, he was
and
just
that also
limping.
felt very Star Wars.
Yeah, like that's what I wrote down. It says feel Star Wars AF. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he was limping around. His legs pretty banged up. He went to a club. He turned in the head that he brought from the job, and he got some information that he did the job
Yeah,
for.
they're like, sit and kick it with us. And he's like, no.
No, just give me my info, dude. That's all I want. Yeah, because then she tells him it was like it was something on the lower parts of the station, I think.
Yeah, it was
he
like in the
looking for-
It was
alleyway.
like the lowest point.
Yeah, some like deep alleyways and stuff like that. It was looking pretty shady.
Practically into space. Yeah, it's just falling.
And then he had turn on a specific kind of vision on his helmet to see some specific symbols. So
Yeah, like
we
Mandalorian symbols.
Yep. Yeah.
Precisely.
Yeah, it's a Mando symbol. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of regroups, and there's just fucking the Forge Master.
The armor.
Yeah,
The
she's
armor
just chilling.
and Paz Vizsla. Yep.
They're like, "What up?"
Yeah, I had to watch that scene a couple times to hear what she said. I had to turn subtitles on because I couldn't hear what she was saying for his first name. I was like, "What, Vizsla?" I heard Vizsla, but I don't know what
Yeah,
she said.
his name was first introduced, I think, in the very first season. But
Yeah,
then,
I guess he was a.
mentioned it again.
Yeah, you're right. Like, didn't they have like a little quarrel between the two?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That would
did.
make
They
With
had
him
a
because
duel
he was like, "You
before.
break bread with former Imperials, man. Like you're a freaking coward." And then that's when he gets his new armor made for him. Yep.
But Vizsla, that's from the Clone Wars, right?
Yeah, Prey
Yeah.
Vizsla.
Dope as
It's
fuck.
yeah, the
And
family
Tar
that
Vizsla.
owns the
fucking
not
love him.
owns, but
House
They,
of
uh,
Vizsla.
there's a lot of Vizsla lore with the
Mhm.
Darksaber as well, because
Mhm.
that's where it started, right? And they explained that
Yep.
in this episode, which was cool.
This episode was chock full of Mando lore. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good. So they did a little explanation of the Dark Blade Mandalorian from the Armorer. They said it was originally created by someone who was a Jedi and a Mandalorian.
And they show that really cool flashback with like Mandalorian or the Mandalore getting destroyed
Yeah.
Oh,
and
the
like
Moon of a
just
Thousand Tears.
carpet bombed. Yeah.
Yup.
That's really depressing.
It was cool though because then you get to see more of like the Rogue One droids. That was like the one droid
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
was
the
repurposed.
K2SO. Yeah.
Yeah, the K2SO. Yeah, that,
That
was
was a
really
nice
cool seeing
connection.
them.
I
do
think
appreciate those Imperial
just
droids.
before that we also got a scene of them setting up the forge and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
She asked him about his spear, and he talks about how he got it when he was fighting.
Yeah. And she's
and
like,
I thought
"Oh,
it was
this is
interesting.
repurposed."
Yeah. I thought it was interesting because she was like, typically Beskar is not used for weapons; it's used
Yeah.
for armor. So he's like, "All right, here you go." He's like, "What would you like me to make out of it?" And he's like, "Something for a youngling, or a foundling, a specific
Yeah.
foundling." And he asked for something for Grogu, despite him not being part of like,
His character.
She
them.
gets
them-
pissy
them-
though.
Yeah, but then she understands as well because she was like his people are about detachment, but
Yes.
like the Mandalorians is about honor and attach. Well,
Loyalty.
they
Said
didn't say attachment
loyalty
specifically,
and
loyalty, yes.
solidarity.
Relationships. Yeah,
Yeah.
solidarity. Yes.
So I thought that was really cool. She was like, "Well, you got me. I mean, that's fair. That's how we do things." So she
Mhm.
was
She
like,
was
"I'll
like,
make it."
All right, what do you want me to make? Yeah.
We still don't know what she made because we don't.
Or
see
even
it,
if
I
she
have
but-
some
did. I don't
suspicions.
even know if she did make
She made him a
something.
chain.
I think yes, she made him a
She
little
made
necklace.
fucking Dejarin a grill.
or chainmail.
I'll be pretty upset if it's a
But
chainmail.
chainmail's
I don't want
out of
some little
place, I
gimp
feel like.
Baby Yoda. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't want a little chainmail on Grogu.
Yeah, it's got to be something just like small. I don't know, But it was really funny. The bag she wrapped it in even looked like
Seems like
Grogu's
that
head.
was a lot of Beskar for what she made. Like what? That
There's no way
sphere is
she used all
huge.
of
She
it.
had
There's
to have
no
put a
way.
lot of it to like separate use, for storage. But like they said, there's only 3 Mandalorians left that they know of: her, Din Djarin, and Paz Vizsla.
Yep,
Everyone
they
else
gotta
that they
rebuild.
know of is dead from the Death Watch cult, the Children of the
Which
Watch.
which seems ridiculous.
Exactly. So it's like, they're getting really prideful and uppity about their rules. And it's like, bro, you're on the edge of extinction now more than ever, really.
Now's not the time to turn people away, especially people loyal like Mando.
Precisely. Precisely. Here's, your most loyal follower who like feels a great sense of shame, and he's like apologetic and saying, "How can I redeem myself?" And it's like, "Oh, well, we don't really do that, but if you do, here's what you do." It's like, bro,
Sorry, bud, you're
Well, it's
fucked.
setting up his next
they definitely
quest
are. Yeah, and
for
I'm looking
sure.
forward to that, but I have a feeling that that'll be like a little spiritual odyssey for him, and he's gonna eventually think like, "Man, fuck this. I don't need to do
He'll
this.
probably
Just
find more Mandalorians along the way, to be honest.
I'm guessing, yeah. Definitely not from his sect, but he's definitely gonna go on like a little recruiting.
Yeah, easily.
So then,
Um,
yeah, she explains all that shit to him, and then all of a sudden, the fucking John Favreau's Mando's like, "Hey, you got that dark saber? I want it now, so I'm gonna fight you." And she's like, "Do you accept to fight him?" And he's like, "Sure." And then they fight.
Bitch.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
Mando
Well,
wins.
fucking Paz Vizsla was kicking his ass for a minute, and then just Mando's
He
got this.
was.
He's got a tiny shiv, and I was just like, okay, like this is. When I got to the point when he was just like they're just fighting in the same like space, and they're just like kind of struggling back and forth because Paz can't barely lift the dark saber, and Mando's just stabbing him multiple times with this tiny shiv. I'm like, okay,
He's like,
I'm kind of done with this.
gotcha.
It was kind of goofy there. That's when the
I
armor's
appreciated
like,
the armor training with Din.
yeah, there was that part. I
yeah,
was
I'm talking about why it's heavy and stuff, and he's fighting the
Yeah.
blade.
Yes.
I thought that was kind of
I
interesting.
got really weird vibes from her. The entire time we saw her, just really weird vibes. She's like, that's the only weapon that could really hurt a Mandalorian. She's like, let me get rid of it. And I was like, huh, like okay,
The spirit,
Why?
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Like I don't know if it's like supposed to feel that way, but it just felt very untrustworthy. And
No, I feel you. I kind of got that sense too. To
When
some
she was
degree.
heating it, I was legitimately worried for a second she was going to turn on him and try to ram him.
That's what
through
I
the-
thought
so
too.
I
Like,
thought it was good. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be some crazy shit where they're like, "Ha, fuck you."
I think they're foreshadowing that maybe like something's going to happen, because obviously Paz didn't hesitate at the opportunity to try and take him out. Because
He
the
already has
family
done that
ties it
though.
together.
Now I'm just like, that's literally his fucking like typecast. They're just typecasting him to just challenge Mando all the time and just lose. He's a fake threat. He's boring.
the jobber.
Which maybe that's them trying to like foreshadow like some actual threat is going to come along that actually does give Mando a run for his money.
I
Because
just
so
don't
far,
get it.
We haven't really met anyone that's gone toe to toe with him, really.
But how are you just gonna be like, you know what? We don't have any Mandalorians left. I'm gonna kill this one though. I want to kill him so bad.
I think
Just for me to have his sword.
the forger feels like he's a threat maybe, and it's like doesn't want him around or is trying to get rid of him constantly or something.
Because he has the saber, yeah.
Well, because now, I mean, she's like in charge, but if he has the saber, that kind of means he's in charge.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
a
mean,
threat to
it
her.
might be
Because he
like
did win
you're
it in
saying,
battle,
yeah,
legitimately.
it might
And
be
the other thing is-
foreshadowing that like they're gonna kind of betray him, and he's actually gonna kind of start a new like
New breed.
Mandalorian like.
Oh,
Yeah, that probably doesn't follow as strictly to the not taking your helmet off, because he's like,
Yeah.
he's sorry about it,
I
but
did it. Nothing happened.
He realizes that other Mandalorians abide by different, rules, but deep down they all have a different set of morals that's usually, good.
yeah. So it should be interesting. I
the
mean,
other
it
thing I
gets me
noticed
excited
was-
for the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It does.
For
When
sure.
he mentioned Bo-Katan, the armorer was really, really pissy.
She didn't like talking about her.
She
No.
did not like talking about Bo-Katan, and I think that was part of the conversation shift. The moment that Din Djarin brought up Bo-Katan, the armorer gave him this like look like, how do you associate with this bitch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she
And
definitely
that
does
kind
not
of worried
like
me.
that
That's when
family.
I was like, oh god, she's gonna kill him.
Well, yeah, probably because they're all about that pride stuff, and like she didn't get the dark saber in combat,
Yes.
so He was
They
she
blame
was very
her.
upset.
She pretty much blames her for the Night of 1,000 Tears.
Yeah,
She
so
blames
once
Bo-Katan for
once
the like
she was in charge, that everything went to shit.
bingo because of that
True.
whole prophecy thing, saying like unless like the right ruler wields this thing and it truly belongs with them, the people are doomed. And clearly that showed, and that's the reason why
Like a
Bo-Katan
hex?
didn't accept it the second time. Yes, it's kind of like a hex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm.
Kind
But,
of sucks because Sabin Wren just gives it to her at the end of Rebels, and you're like, "Oh, cool, she got it back," and then it's like, "Oh, I guess
I didn't
that
want her to have
that
it,
wasn't
bro.
a good thing." Yeah, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. But and then was it like after that he was pretty sad, then we see like a weird segment. Not really weird, but just interesting,
A little
like
goofy. A little
Yeah.
lighthearted. He's got to get rid of all his weapons.
Yeah.
Like, this is my religion, my
he has
guy.
to take public transportation at Tatooine.
He had to
which
put
is
the
funny.
dark saber. I was so scared that someone was gonna take
I
it. I was
know,
like, "You're putting that
dude.
shit in there. Someone's gonna take
Yeah,
that."
so
shit.
was I. I thought he was gonna open it and all that shit was gonna be gone.
Yeah. I
Oh,
don't.
sucked.
They put so much attention on this scene for it to just be like a gag of like, oh, he's got to get rid of his weapons. Ha.
I know most of the
You
stuff
know.
they do is like, I don't know, it feels like they're trying to fucking trick us or something.
A little
Yes.
bit, yeah. It
Fake
felt
us
like
out.
a weird amount of time spent on this for.
That's
not
good though.
really
They
making-
built suspense for nothing, and it's like, okay, all right, yeah, I liked that. I liked
Sure.
feeling on edge the whole time.
Fair enough. It makes you. At least you have emotions, right? About
Yeah,
the
at
episode.
least
Yeah.
it's not boring.
I'm just like, man, Boba Fett looks like shit right now.
Oh man, is
And
he
he just
extremely?
happens to go to Tatooine, though. Of all, like, how fortuitous that he happens to be going. To
I know. I
Tatooine.
was like, oh, I'm so happy that we're in a new location and stuff like that.
I mean,
It
I
looks
guess it
Star
does make
Warsy.
sense,
And it's
though.
like, oh, back to fucking Tatooine. It's like fucking great, man. I love.
Like, here's the mechanic scrapper lady you love so much, and I'm like, oh,
Dude,
fuck.
she's cool and all, but she was so fucking obnoxious for the rest of the fucking episode. It was kind of like
God.
getting on my nerves how fucking obnoxious
They
she
could have
was.
cut down the scenes with him and her by half, and it would have been just as effective. They
She was
could have
just, like-
montaged that shit.
She was
I
just
hated it.
nonstop talking, and I was like, oh
But
my.
at least
fuck-
she was talking.
Yeah.
I feel like half the
Yeah.
Book of Boba is just them like head nodding and being like, yeah, or like,
All that show is talking, anyways.
There's a lot of talking though on the Book of Boba. It's less action than talk.
Yeah, I'm not like I'm
That's
okay
true.
with the conversation. It's just like her doing
Yeah.
like shitty quips or something like that. It's like fuck.
Yes. How do we feel about Mando's new whip?
It's all right.
dude, I thought again.
It's like one of the Naboo guard things from episode
They
1,
leaned
right?
into the references for sure because it's like this is from like the prequels, and she found this and
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
parts and stuff. I thought it was really cool.
Look fucking
I
sick.
think it doesn't make sense for what he does because
Yeah.
gonna put like
It doesn't.
his bounties inside the ship.
Like I don't
but-
feel like
He wanted it though. He paid for it, So obviously he was like, you know what? All
It
right,
is
fine.
fast though. It was badass. Like him
yeah.
flying that thing around. That was. There were so many references. It was great. I
I
loved
feel
it.
like he's done with bringing in bodies warm.
yeah,
He
he's
can't
like
really bring in. All he can carry now is a head.
Yeah.
So he's just gonna.
Good. So we're set. And fucking season 3 is off to a good start.
BD though. I like seeing BD.
Dude, yes.
Aw, yeah,
Yeah,
BD
that was
was-
cool as shit.
That was such a nice reference as well.
I was thinking about that. I was like, is that just the type of droid, or is that a direct reference to fucking Jedi?
Is that this? Is
It's
that
the
the
type of
fucking?
droid.
It's not
Okay.
Cal Kestis's droid.
I thought it was the specific droid.
Handy Cal?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Handy Cal, the man of culture. I see.
Yeah.
Subscribe.
Funny.
Yeah, the ship they rebuilt it and whatnot, repaired the crap out of it. We got some interesting scenes with some Jawas and
Find out she's
interaction.
fucked one or two.
Yeah,
That was fucking hilarious when she started speaking Jawanese or whatever
that
it's
was
called.
pretty funny.
She was
That
like,
was a
"Yeah,
Jawas,
they-
that you see anybody, and she's like, nah, I'm working on myself right now.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he
funny.
was different,
Did she
like-
insinuate at one point that she used to fuck one of them?
Yeah,
No, she didn't insinuate. She flat out said, she's like, oh yeah, they're furry little dudes under those things.
Yeah, and I was like, what in the actual fuck,
I
Star
did not
Wars?
need to
She's-
know what's
she's a-
under those
I know
strands.
she's got something on the other side of that hole too. You know,
That bitch
They
geeked.
look
No
like-
wonder
look
they
like
bring her
gremlins.
anything.
Yeah.
they're like gremlins under there.
Dude,
Like they're
yeah.
critters.
I once sold this Jawa scrap past midnight.
That's fucking funny.
Um,
Yeah, so he takes
geez.
it out the ship for like a little fucking.
They go
test
through the
trial.
pod racing course, It was
that
so
shit was
cool.
lit.
Yeah, Beggars Canyon.
Yep. And then
And there was like, it's just like it was when Anakin raced it, pretty much. And
Even the
they,
little
they,
swamp rat
Oh
yeah,
yeah, the
they
Womp Rat.
matched it detail for
or
detail
womp rat.
almost.
Thank you.
I thought he was gonna crash.
Me too,
because
dude. He was
he
flying
going
so close.
fast.
he was
And I was
so
like,
close
dude,
to
he
the
doesn't have the
ground.
force. He's
I
just a
knew he had it.
regular individual. He does not have the force. So how is he able to make these quick reactions with this?
Because
like,
that's
freaking Fast
motherfucking
and
Din
Furious little
Djarin.
thing? He was all engine. That thing has no body weight.
That's all fucking Din Djarin, baby. That's good old Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, but still,
If it
like,
was even him.
yeah, it was just kind of weird. It's like I don't know if he's experienced with that kind of ship or anything, but like
Right.
just with the Razor Crest being like so much different with like just shape and weight and whatnot, I feel like
Like
that's
she said, that's a gunship. This is a fucking starfighter.
It's like
Yeah.
Boba's, you know? You're a bounty hunter. You have room. You need to have, room for accommodating people. Maybe room for
Yeah.
you to sleep, a quarters.
Like
an
a
armory,
fire
you need to
spray
have
or
guns.
something.
Bingo. Yeah.
yeah. That's why I feel like it didn't fit him as well. I feel like it kind of breaks the show, like not really breaks the
I
show,
feel
but
like he
breaks
might
the
end up
formula
getting
we're used
another
to.
ship.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I
think
like
he-
that they stuck with like the silver like
Yeah, just like his
body
armor.
style for a ship though. Yeah. I
they
was
did
very
that
glad they
because
didn't do
wanted
the
to be able to
yellow or
sell
some
new
shit.
toys. That's why.
Yeah, I
They
didn't
don't
want
you to
the
be able to get your
yellow. That
old
would look
Naboo
so
starfighter
bad.
and just put Mando in it.
You
That's
guys
why.
were just
Yeah.
over each other there for a minute.
We both were agreeing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But it was great. I mean, they had a little interaction with the police, which happened to be the same
Oh
New
my
Republic
God.
police people that as
This is-
last time.
This is pretty lame.
And he somehow
John.
realized
Super lame.
he just
That
noticed
dude went from
his
outer
voice.
rim patrol to inner rim patrol to Navarro guard duty on foot. That motherfucker is everywhere.
Yeah, it was whatever. It was a small
Yeah, for
interaction,
real.
so it was like whatever.
Yeah.
But
I
he
didn't care.
he does a nice little
Zip
he
off.
just boosts away. He was like, no, that was his sublight like boosters or his other. Like, holy shit, he really.
He was
really
like, we should
flew.
go fill out paperwork.
License
He's like, do you want to
registration.
fill out paperwork? And he's like, no. And he's like, okay, let's not.
Yeah, and then dude, the funniest thing, I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but when he got back, they were talking about how fast it was and everything, and she was like, that'll really what was it? What did she say? That'll really tighten up your exhaust pipe or something. She was essentially saying that'll
Asshole
really
joke.
that'll really pucker up your butthole or something. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, did they just say
Gangster
that
joke,
in
yeah.
Star Wars?
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
That got me. I was like,
It was a
holy
funny
shit.
one, yeah.
They just did that. Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, then Fennec's like, "Hey, you want a job?" And he's like, "Yeah," and then that's the
Also
episode.
pro
Yeah.
bono, yeah.
But he said he had to make a stop first, which I assume is him going to
And then-
Grogu.
Yeah.
And then finally we get to hear the name Boba Fett, and then the credits roll.
And what a good Book of Boba Fett episode that was. The
That
best.
was so
Mhm.
good.
Best yet.
Honestly, that's what I was afraid of. I was really hoping they would not have Mando in the show because he's got so much star power compared to Boba
It's
Fett.
an upstage him in his
Yeah,
own show.
exactly. And I just feel like he just takes such a focus off of like Boba Fett, which is his show. I mean, like obviously, like I feel like Pedro Pascal and with Mandalorian, he's got so much more character development than Boba Fett on screen has. Just with the one movie and just what we've seen from the show and in his features in the Mandalorian. I feel like Mandalorian, he's just everyone just enjoys that character more, and I just would appreciate it like if they worked on fucking Boba Fett's character development and just
Made the
had good
same
writing
effort,
for
yeah.
him. Yeah. And instead of relying on someone that's well more established than him to save the fucking show, which I feel like this is what the episode was, to save the
Yeah.
show.
Do
I
you
mean, this
think
is
it's
like an
because he
offshoot of
doesn't have
Mandalorian.
his fucking helmet off all of the goddamn time?
I didn't hear what the beginning of what you said. You guys are talking
Oh,
over each other
sorry.
quite a bit.
I was saying, do you think it's because he doesn't have his fucking helmet off all of the fucking time?
Who?
Boba Fett.
It doesn't bother me. I don't think it
I don't really
impacts his
give a
character.
Yeah, I don't really care just because they're just fucking
It bothers
talking.
the shit out of me.
I
'Cause
mean,
I feel like Mando's character would be much different if he didn't have his helmet on
yeah.
3/4 of the time.
But his personality is also entirely different. He's like cold and emotionless because
Uh-huh.
of the way he's been, indoctrinated. Boba he's kind of salty now and a little more, I guess, down
He's
to
soft
earth
because the
somewhat.
sand people.
Yeah, it's true. It's weird. He like turns on and off his like friendly meter sometimes. He's like, "Oh, I intend to rule with respect," and then he's
Yeah,
like,
remember
"I'm
them
gonna blast
bikers?
these Nikto riders." Yeah.
Respectfully
He's-
blow them up without warning.
I'm gonna
Respectfully.
respectfully
Seismic
slaughter
charges.
you.
It's like they're all prospects, bro. Yeah, that
Looks
was.
over. You didn't see shit, Fennec Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a good episode though, at least.
it was. That was what I'm happy about. I was like, I have nothing to come from here, but like, just say like, hey, that was a great episode. I'm ready to go back to fucking the junkyard and see the shit.
Yeah, me too.
I guess that leaves us with our scores, huh?
7.5. I enjoyed the
What?
lore in this. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sly.
I'm gonna go 7.5 as well.
What the fuck is this?
All right, Tony.
I'm gonna do an 8.
An 8. That's fair.
That's I can.
You know, it's not 7.5, but it's fair.
Usually, when I feel like we do the round numbers and then it ends up as a 0.5, and so like if he gives it an 8.5, then what are we doing? Like a 7.93?
I was gonna give it a 9.
Oh my
Kenneth!
god! Then what? So then
10.
what is it? Like an 8.25?
Sure.
8.25.
It's an 8.5 or so. 8.
Essentially,
8.
yeah,
Just
8.
call it 8. Just call it 8.
An 8, yeah.
Call it
It's an 8.
I changed mine to 9.
I wanted it to be a 9.
It's an
but my issue-
8.5.
What I feel like is missing from it being a 9 is it didn't advance the story for this, like the actual overarching arc of the show.
Yeah.
On
Yeah,
its
that's what I
own,
don't
it's
like.
an
It didn't-
excellent
It
show.
didn't
That
feel like
episode,
an episode of the Book of Boba Fett. This did not do anything for me as
It was like
what-
a standalone.
the Boba Fett. Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
It wasn't
That's fair.
bad, but it wasn't
fair.
the Book of Boba Fett.
No, it was excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So what's our Foundry score then?
An
Eight.
Call it an
8.25.
Just give it an 8. It's an 8.
All right, it's an 8. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. Another episode of the Book of the Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett.
Book of the Boba Fett.
We'll be back next week. We're getting close to the end of the show. Let us know your guys'
Yeah.
thoughts down below in the comments. And hey, if you guys made it this far in the video, please try to be a little bit more patient with these episodes, guys. We're dropping them to you weekly. We promise that they're going to be out either on Friday or Saturday, the day, like a couple days after when the show comes out. We've got a lot of other stuff going on. You know, we mainly try to focus on the video game aspects here on the channel, but we like to do the Star Wars and comic booky stuff as well, you know, for funsies. But yeah, try to be a little patient, guys. We appreciate all the support, massive support, all the reviews and reacts recently. You guys are amazing, and can't wait to see you guys later in the comments. But until then, bye, everybody.
Peace.
Bye.
Oh,